Yeah, boy. It is UK's finest. Ricky J. Bringing you the hottest intakes, bold predictions, and straight up banter from across the pond. Welcome to where the bell never stops ringing. Welcome to the People's Wrestling Podcast. Go ahead, like and subscribe, share, do all those cool things, all those good things. A late edition, late night edition here in the UK, here in England of the People's Wrestling Podcast. As you can see, there will be no Sean Gold tonight. I may be doing this solo, doing it, very well be doing this on my own. Sean's children are feeling under the weather, they're not feeling so well, so that's the reason he's not here. Hopefully he'll be back on next week. But the man himself, the money man, the man the man you love, Marcus, may be dropping by. Who knows? He may be dropping on. If not, you've got just me, and this is going to be a shorter, truncated, smaller version of the People's Wrestling Podcast. But go ahead, share, like, subscribe, all of that. Share, like, subscribe. And we're going to kick off right away as we await the arrival on Marcus. Should he be here? Should he turn up? Should he make his presence known? We'll have to wait and see for him to make his big entrance. But let's kick off with the very first segment here, and you know what that segment is. And I will just message Marcus to see if he is coming on. If not, that's fine. Said it will just be me. But first segment here, of course, is that is right. What's cooking at the table? So what have I been up to? What have I got coming up? Well, more going to the gym, pumping iron, keeping fit, keeping strong, keeping healthy. Continuing with my walking groups that I'm going on, and I appreciate that I am a little low here. Give me a second just to alter that. Give me 1 second here, 1 second. So hopefully that is somewhat better. But yes, continuing with my walking groups, continuing my bowling. I do want to hope to get to the level that I make it to a team next year. My craft class that I go to each and every week, I did make, because this week another NXT that we'll get to, or I will get to, me, just myself, or Marcus, should he be joining us, should he be coming on here tonight, a match card for NXT, and did go and do a bit of bingo and had afternoon lunch at the venue, the place, the building that I go and do crafts at and the walking group from. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Let me know, guys, what you guys have been up to. And what have I got coming up? Well, will be kind of more of the same, really. A few other bits added in. So more gym, more crafts, more walking group, more bowling, should the weather permit it, should the weather stay nice and dry, as it has done throughout. So who knows, might be off bowling tomorrow. Have got, hopefully, a trip to the cinema next Friday to watch The Final Bosses, The Rock's new film, The Smashing Machine. And also, next Saturday, there's a free, I mean, it's called the Fun Palace, so the local library to me. So I'm going to go there for an hour to kill. It's free, why not? So I'm going to put my head in there. So that's what I've got coming up. Let me know, guys, what you got coming up as we go to the next segment. But then I'm going to get into, I'm going to message Marcus, see where he is, see if he's indeed coming on. But you know what segment number 2 is, and that segment number 2 is all about the red carpet, all about the glitz, the glam, the paparazzi. They're talking about it. Hollywood is talking about this. They're talking about one thing and one thing only, and that one thing is this right here. That is right. Movie talk. As I messaged Marcus to see indeed he's coming on, I will go through the 3 movies that I have watched. No surprise that one of them stars a wrestler. Give me 1 second. 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. So first movie I've watched is, give me 1 second here. 1 second. 1 second. First movie on the list I've watched is, let me try and find it here. Is the Long Walk. Yeah, decent enough movie. Different. I suppose I would recommend it. Like I said, yeah, decent enough movie. The second movie on the list, as Marcus is just replying now, so we'll find out if he's coming on. If not, like I said, it'll be a much smaller, truncated episode of the People's Wrestling Podcast. Let's hopefully Sean Go will be on next week. But the second movie I've watched with a small cameo from Al Snow, Tango 1. This decent movie. The man at the top, he's a drug trafficker. He's getting hunted, known as Tango 1. Yeah, decent, like I said, decent movie. And the third and final movie I've watched is the remake of Red Sonja. Not as good as the classic, the older movie, the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. But give me 1 second. But this was still a decent. Still a decent remake. So yeah, there's that. So those are the movies I've watched, and here he is. Give me 1 sec. Let me just delete. Here we go. Clearing room on here. That's all, guys. So here he is, the man himself. Let me bring him in quickly. All about the money, all about the cash. You know him spending that fabulous moolah. You all have a price, you jabronis. And here he is. It is Marcus.
Yo. If it ain't about money, then I really don't care about it.
I was just going to ask you, wearing a wrestling t-shirt, but is that your favorite? Is that the Birds and the Birds?
Yep, go Birds.
Okay, I've got it right. The Birds, yes. So yeah, how are you? So what have you been up to since the last time you were on? It's been about a month or so, hasn't it? I would have said.
Probably, yeah, just about a month. I've been good. Back at work, chilling, watching football, watching baseball, not watching wrestling really. So I don't know how much of use I'm going to be today, but we'll figure it out.
As I say each and every time, well, so when it comes to Raw, you've missed nothing. We'll get into it. We're just going to breeze past it and get into the important stuff, and that's NXT and No Mercy. But seeing as you are here, in the description, as always, each and every video, whether it be this or a watch along, each and every one of these, it's in the description. But on your screens right now, I will play the video shortly here. But Marcus' channel, head over right now if you're a fan of really any review in general. So Marcus has put up Stella Artois review, non-alcohol. What's the point of non-alcohol? I don't know, but there, fair enough. Non-alcoholic Stella Artois review. So hey, head over, drop a comment, let him know what you think. Maybe drop a comment on his channel. What review you would, maybe what product, what food, what drink you'd like him to review, perhaps. But yeah, head over right now, like and subscribe. More importantly, subscribe. But yes, you've been busy with your channel. Have you got any more videos coming up?
I just made a video today, so I gotta upload that. I gotta toy around with it, upload it. I mean, I only do videos when I feel like it, because that's just how it is. I don't feel obligated to do videos. I do it mostly for fun, my enjoyment. If ever something comes out of it, great. But I think for me, it's just more so passing on information.
Yeah, and I see the improvement in your videos. Like you've got slight music in the background, and I think that really helps the flow and the feel of your videos. And yeah, I like them.
Thank you.
But two pieces of wrestling news to discuss. Well, okay, it was gonna be three, but the third one was Invasion isn't going to be a pay-per-view. It's just be an NXT special. And I know why they're doing it, because they're going head-to-head with AEW again. AEW are doing the title Tuesday. So I presume that's why they're doing this. It's not just rather than, I would prefer it to be a pay-per-view. I personally would have preferred this war they're calling it between TNA and NXT to carry on all the way to the end of the year, and you do a pay-per-view at the end of the year. But that's just me. I'm actually shocked that with the counter programming, they didn't move this to, I think it's November 22nd, Full Gear. So I thought that's when it was going to be. I was wrong. But yes, let's get into reading all about it, because it is.
Grab your mom, grab your dad, grab your email, Telegram. I don't know how you get your information, but here's the news.
And we'll kick off with the biggest piece of news, which is this man right here, the phenomenal one, the former WWE champion over 300 days. In fact, it was a year, in fact, wasn't it? Just over a year as champion. But AJ Styles set to retire 2026. I don't really have much here. What are your thoughts about this, Marcus?
I mean, it's expected. AJ's in his 40s. With the style of wrestling that he does, obviously his body has been beat up. I mean, that man has been up and down the road before WCW closed. You know what I mean? Like, the companies that he's worked for WCW, he's worked for New Japan, he's worked for TNA. I think he was in Ring of Honor, and of course, he made his debut in WWE in the 2016 Royal Rumble. I mean, one hell of a career. Who would have thought someone like AJ Styles would have won the WWE Championship more than once? You know what I mean? Like, one, he wasn't a WWE product, and two, he's small. And yet he was, trusted with the ball. So I think it makes a bunch of sense. He wants to be home with his family, as he should be. And, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, I completely agree. No shocker. I thought it might have been 2027, but hopefully we get, and I don't think we're going to get, he teased it at Slammiversary. He teased a match at Slammiversary, one more match in TNA. You would think it would be Bound for Glory. Isn't that there at WrestleMania, I think?
Yeah. I think... I don't know. I want to say yes. Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania.
because you're getting at that event the Hardys versus the Dudleys fought, and they put the titles on the line, so you know who's winning for the tag team titles in a tables match. I just wish it hadn't been for the titles, then it wouldn't have been as obvious who's winning. Hopefully, yeah, we get an AJ match. Probably not. It's looking like, unless he turns up, could turn up on next week's TNA. Yeah, he's had a hell of a career, like you said, from the WWE. Won every title there is in WWE. He said he's going to stay on with the company once he retires. So, yeah. Like I said, I thought it would be 2027, but if he feels it's next year for him, then he's next year. I just hope that he's not getting the best booking for those that do watch Raw, but I hope he gets booked better before he retires. And the second piece of news is, you can read the headline right there, but it is from Fatal Influence. Jasmine Nick's gone from WWE. My quick thoughts are, as I say each and every time, whoever gets released can always find something for this talent to do. I think Jasmine Nick's got to push as much as she's ever going to do. Wouldn't be surprised if she turns up in TNA. She's done work there with Fatal Influence. Yeah. That's it. That's my thoughts. Jasmine Nick's gone. What are your thoughts, Marcus?
I mean, so it was rumored. So, and this is what makes it interesting. So, WWE offered her $75,000, to stay. The typical NXT salary is $80,000. So she was getting $5,000 less than the typical NXT talent. Which, I don't think every NXT talent gets 80,000. I think some people get 80. Like the top people get between 80 and 100 in NXT. Nyx is not a top talent. She's a part of a faction, and she's literally the third person in the faction. Like out of everyone in her faction, she's the only one that hasn't done anything. And I do feel like she needs more ring experience. She needs more ring time. She's a good-looking person, but that's all she is. She's just eye candy. And in this version of NXT and WWE, that's not enough for a female wrestler. So I think she was rightfully released. And maybe she could cut her teeth in a different company, or maybe she might go the same route as Cora Jade. Cora Jade, is that her name?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you talk about OnlyFans, and I don't know if it was real or not, but or it just might have been just been fan made. But apparently, Jasmine Nick's has put out a statement that she won't be doing OnlyFans, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, then that means if she's dedicating herself to wrestling, then she'll obviously be on the indies, and hopefully she gets booked on the indies. If not, maybe AEW. She could develop there. Maybe she could develop in TNA. But as far as in-ring skill, nah, she isn't there yet. So
yeah, I think TNA is probably the spot for her. I won't put her into the title picture right away. Kalani obviously just won the title this week. So yeah, and TNA don't have a secondary women's championship, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, I can see her in TNA doing something. Unless she, we'll get to it, but a certain, and we don't know who it is. A masked figure, dressed all in black, attacked Lola Vice. So could that be Jasmine Nick? We don't know. I don't know. I've not heard anything. Could that be Jasmine Nick? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe she has re-signed. Or maybe it's somebody else. I said we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so yeah, I think he goes to TNA, but I think AEW just gets lost in the shuffle, really. Like Jasmine Nick, again, I've said this before. I may not be the biggest AEW fan. I watch the pay-per-views, but Dynamite is just the worst, which we'll get to in a second. Dynamite is the worst. But and I've also said before, I'm not going to stand in the way of any talent going to AEW. If they, for their career, they think AEW is the destination and they think they can make money, off they go. So just because I see AEW as the worst doesn't mean these wrestlers do, I suppose. But I'm going to play double the ad. I'm going to kick off with he's here on your screens. So let's play this ad first. That is right. Go head over. Well, not right now. Don't leave here. But after we're done, head over MARKCUS channel, subscribe, share, do all of those cool things, comment, like, all of those. And second out, very quickly coming your way is. That's also right. Proceeds, Gunman 1, 4-2 shout outs, and an extra bigger shout out as I induct you into the People's Wrestling Channel Hall of Fame. But before we get to today's wrestling, we're going to talk about wrestling of yesteryear, of the past, with this. That is right. This week in wrestling history, and only one notable date on the year was 1999. The date was September 27th, and the segment that drew around about 8 million. Raw wishes it could get that now. But the segment was This Is Your Life with The Rock. Yeah, great segment. Mick Foley funny, The Rock just peak rock at that time. Like I said, drew over 8 million. So yeah, great times in wrestling back in 1999 when Raw was actually good and worth watching. That's my memories of it. What's your memories of The Rock? This Is Your Life.
It was funny. It's a classic segment. It's very funny. Yeah, that's the main things I remember. I remember it being funny, and it's a classic. And some of the stories that also come out of it is that they went overtime for the segment, which Vince wasn't too pissed about after he saw the ratings. So it was a good segment.
I just wish we could get those type of segments on Raw on Raw in 2025 rather than just match after match after match after match. But let's get to today's wrestling with this. With Wrestling Roundup, as always, starting with AEW. I'm going to run through the results because two bigger stories coming out of Dynamite, and it certainly wasn't the results. Anyway, Brodito retained against the Gates of Agony. Okay. Hammond and Page retained against Lee Moriarty. Cool that Lee got the title shot, but who thought that he was beating Page? the conglomeration. So Orange Cassidy is back, and they knock off the Don Callis family. Claudio Castagnoli defeats Powerhouse Hobbs, and Chris Statlander retains against Mina Shira Waka. I've got the name right this time, I think. God, slightly above Jobber. Of course, the two biggest stories coming out of this was, and a lot of people are going to see this as copying, and I know TNA did it first and then probably WWE copied them, but AEW now have women's tag team titles, as if the pay-per-views weren't long enough. Now we've got another title match. Okay. And the other big story coming out of this is Adam Copeland, Edge, leaving AEW. For those thinking, oh, he's going to be... And I thought for a second, until I read, he's going to make Percy Jackson and something. Percy... Not sure what the TV show is called, but Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson the Olympians, I think it's called. But yes, he's going filming that, so he will not be seen as last opponents. No, really ever. Well, I wouldn't say never, but not in the near future coming back to WWE. So yeah, there's that. So any thoughts on the women's tag team titles and Edge leaving AEW for a little bit?
I've seen the women's tag titles. They look good. They definitely look better than the WWE version. I hate WWE's titles. They look stupid. Their titles actually look like titles and not trinkets. So that's cool news. It's always good news that the women's division, no matter what the company is, gets more. Because I feel like a lot of times the women's division always gets like one thing and that's it. That's all they get. So I like the fact that they have a tag title. As far as Edge leaving, I mean, the whole thing is this, right? He wants to go home, be with his family, as he should. He wants to be a good dad again. And, it's hard to do that when you're on the road all the time.
Yeah, and that's Edge. I'm gonna call him Edge. That's what I know him as. So Edge gone for a while, MJF is gone for a while. Will Ospreay's gone for a year out with injury. I think Swerve is out with injury. So the four big names there gone for a while. So. Anyway, moving on to WWE. Oh, God. Raw was so skippable, I was just quickly breeze through it. So it kicks off with Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and I get they're feuding over a pointless, doesn't matter, who cares championship. Whoever wins, who cares what they actually won. They get to carry around don't even get to carry around a ring. You only see in the ring now because it's Crown Jewel season, but they win nothing. So I get they're just feuding over nothing. And Seth Rollins really made this. Seth Rollins made this feel like they're actually fighting for something when they're not. I mean, and WWE knows they're not, and it's just. Let's try and get something out of this, but it was boring, a really boring opening segment. So there's that. Penta and the War Raiders knock off New Day and Grayson Waller in a no DQ match. Cool. Any thoughts of that, Marcus? Penta and War Raiders over New Day and Grayson Waller?
No.
Okay. Stephanie Vaquero came out. Your thoughts on the Crown Jewel Championship? I know you're not a big fan of it, but.
Yeah, I don't support anything from Crown Jewel. This is just them doing something to do something. It's hard to say like, oh yeah, we're feuding over something. No, you're just talking crap before a fight. That's all.
I suppose that's the difficulty, that no one can. What are they actually winning? Nothing. They don't even get to keep the championship. It's gone. and it makes one of the champions look weak, and it's just whatever. Stephanie Vicario came out and cut a horrible promo. Just There's that. Bayley over Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez loses again. Rusev taps out JD McDonough. Jey Uso over LA Knight. And in your main event, Rhea defeats Asuka. Asuka carries in, turn on Io Sky. Dark match. Anything that I've said there, you want to give your input or thoughts or no?
So what made Stephanie Bakir's promo horrible?
She's not good on the microphone. She just it felt like they were waiting for something. It felt like she was building to something. Or I'm the best. And I was expecting someone to come out and interrupt her. That didn't happen. She spoke in her own language. She's from Chile, which is fine, but this did, again, just like the Cody Rollins promo, it did nothing. So
it's going to be, first of all, Stephanie Bakir's second language is English. So that's already difficult. Two, her being Chilean, people from Chile speak Spanish. So, or I think they speak Spanish. I don't think they speak Portuguese, but Portuguese is is kind of a form of Spanish still. No, I think I think Chilean people speak Spanish. I got to do more research on that. But I don't expect any promos that's going to be for Crown Jewel to be good because there's no passion in it. Like, you're fighting for a bullshit championship. I don't expect no one to be like excited for this.
Any thoughts of Jey Uso over Nia and Rhea over Asuka?
No and no.
I do like what they're doing with Jey. There's probably turning him with big. And this is, and I've got to say this nearly every time because they build nothing. It's just next. Too many masters to please. They're getting paid regardless. If no one watched, they're still making money. Well, probably not. Well, they're still getting paid regardless. People, and they know whatever crap they put out, people are still going to watch. So why should they try? But it looks like Jey Uso's going to turn heel to take on Cody because Cody's got no other challengers. Let's get into the brand NXT that kicked off with a really good match. Lights out match. Miles Bourne over Lexis King. This actually felt like a fight. Actually felt like a war. Yeah, good match there. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second, as well as Ethan Page came on out. Taylor Heights in the crowd dressed as Dr. Wagner comes on in, ankle lock to Page. Yeah, good match. Decent promo between Freeze and Page. Your thoughts on both?
Yeah, I just haven't been watching lately. So I haven't even kept up with Miles Bourne and Lexis King. To be honest, I'm actually surprised they're still feuding. I didn't even know that they were still feuding over nothing. But that's cool that it seemed like it was an actual match. And I find it cool that Dr. Wagner is going after Ethan Page. It's kind of cool to be like, hey, Mexico's also part of North America. So, it's pretty cool.
I presume another Worlds Collide. There's another event, another Worlds Collide coming up, probably. And I know I say this every week also, that I complain 10,000 pay-per-views, well, it feels like 10,000 pay-per-views a month, Saturday night's main events, and the Crown Worlds Collide, and Raw, SmackDown. But I say I'm watching it all. So, and they know we're going to watch it all. So,
yeah, they definitely got you. They definitely got you because I've been missing.
Yeah, I suppose no matter how much they give me, they still leave me wanting more. It's okay. Next. Laney Reid in a speed match knocks off Candice LeRae. She earned a title shot at No Mercy, but didn't get that title shot. We'll talk about No Mercy in a second. What was the next match? Jordan Grace over Ariana Grace. Blake Marone comes out, brawl, set up a match for No Mercy, weaponized steel cage. JTJ and Lola Vice promos. Any thoughts on Laney Reid getting the win and Jordan Grace getting the win?
You said Jordan Grace and who else?
Laney Reid over Candice LeRae and Jordan Grace over Ariana Grace.
I don't know who that girl. I don't know who you're talking about as far as who beat Joey Gargano's wife. I don't know who that is. And Jordan Grace beating somebody. Cool.
Dark State over say his name and he appears. I'm not going to say his name, but you know who he is. That man. And Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors. Decent match there. But what really had the people talking is who returned in the main event segment. So Trick Williams over Femi by DQ. I thought that's what would happen. I didn't see them. Didn't see either walking out with both championships. But you had Matt Cardona or Zack Ryder, the inspiration of the Iconics. Alicia Fox, whatever his name is in TNA. Zaya Lee returning. So 4 returns. Oh no, Eric Young. You had Eric Young in the crowd. So 5 returns to NXT. So to WWE, not to NXT. Well, yeah, it starts in NXT to WWE. So yeah, great to see them back. This is why NXT is the brand. Anything can happen. So yeah, good main event. Just over mid-card in my rating. Your thoughts, Marcus, of Dark State over Joe Hendry and Cale Dixon, Uriah Connors, and all the returns that happened.
I once again, I don't have much to say because I ain't see NXT, so I have no real read on my level of excitement or rating or anything.
Fair enough. I will speed right through Evolve. Kendall Gray, Callie Armstrong, Chantel Monroe, and Stevie Turner cutting promos. Swipe right, knocked off Cale Dixon, Uriah Connors. Uriah Connors, Cale Dixon, not exactly The Rock and Stone Cold, but they are cool names to have on Evolve. And Kendall Gray taps out Chantel Monroe to get a title shot. Opener. Let's speed all the way through SmackDown. Ugh. Booker T on commentary. That was cool. You got Booker T back on commentary on SmackDown. So that was very cool. Paul Heyman comes on out. Cody Rhodes comes on out. Reed and Braun try to attack Cody. Here comes a man that you hears voices. Randy Orton makes a save. I presume tag team match next. Oh yeah, it can't be Crown Jewel. So play a tag team match next week. Speaking of the tag team, Street Profits over the Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Any thoughts of what I've said, Marcus? Booker T on commentary, the opening promos, and Street Profits taking the win.
So this is actually stuff I actually did watch. So I found it pretty cool that like I obviously like, Cody's like, listen, Paul, I know you real well. I'm sure you tell Braun Breaker everything you want to hear. I don't care about none of that. And he's like, you know what? This might be stupid, but I'm going to take a swing and fight you guys. And I didn't know Randy was out. That's cool that he came back. So that was cool. The Street Profits got a victory. Them and the Wyatt Six are going to go back at it again for the tag titles. That's going to be pretty cool and exciting again. Obviously, there's something cooking up between The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. And of course, who doesn't love Booker T being on commentary?
Yeah, he just feels right in being on SmackDown. He was on SmackDown for a while. Was it? I can't remember who called the action with on SmackDown. It's been a while, but yeah. Women's tag team action saw Julian Kiana James over Meech and B-Fab. Okay. Drew McIntyre comes on out. Nick Aldis comes on out. Jacob Fatu makes his return. So it looks like Jacob Drew at Crown Jewel, probably. Sami Zayn retains it against Javon Evans, still your US champion. Cool. Any thoughts of any of that? So Julia Kiana James taking the win, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn retaining.
By the time I got off of watching SmackDown, it was on the B-Fab and Michin versus Julia and whoever that girl is match. That match wasn't doing too much for me personally. So, yeah, I didn't really see the rest, though.
And in your main event, making the headlines for the wrong reasons, but there it is. Tiffany Stratton retains. So you've now got at Crown Jewel. Of course, we've got John Cena taking an AJ Styles. I think that will be match of the show stealing match. And Stephanie Bakira taking on Tiffany Stratton for the women's Crown Jewel Championship. Nobody cares. Boring. But of course, is he making headlines for the wrong reason? Because Jay Cargill got caught up in the hardware. For anyone that sees a picture, it's like a big, massive, horrible gash. And Nia Jax not kicking out, which just, you called it right, Marcus. It was crazy. I just thought it looked really bad, and the crowd didn't like it. They booed it. It was 1, 2, no kick out. Oh, she kicked out. No, she didn't. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Rating, dark. What really happened on this SmackDown? If, as I say, each and every week, for any casual viewer that it still exists, what did he actually miss? But I'll say, dark match. Your thoughts on the main event and the botch?
So, despite the fact not watching the full main event, I only know about the botch. So as I'm watching what it was on Instagram, I'm counting 1, 2, and obviously the referee stopped because, referees wear earpieces and, they're told what's going on, what to do. They know the ending sequence of the match, just like the wrestlers do. Nia not kicking out kind of screwed the finish. Like, it's not on the ref. Nia also knows the finish. I don't know if it was because Nia got blown up or not, but Nia clearly missed a cue there, and it just looked overall really bad. Yeah, I feel bad for that. Because obviously, your emotions get all involved, and you're in the midst of doing your thing, but then you forget one little piece of detail. You could have raised up a shoulder real small. You could have did a big kick out, but she did nothing. So yeah.
And let's end this with No Mercy. Decent pay-per-view, so let's go through it. So Javon Evans over Josh Briggs, I thought really good opener. I don't think this hurts Josh, and I think it elevates both of them, and it builds momentum for Javon heading into his match against Leon Slater for the X Division Championship at Bound for Glory. Good opener. Your thoughts on the opening match, Marcus?
Didn't see it, but that's good for Javon getting some momentum again.
Next up was Jada Parker taking on Sol Ruka for the Speed Women's Championship. Clunky. Cool that Jada got the shot. Cool that the title defended on pay-per-view, Premier Live event, whatever. But very clunky. And then as the seconds were counting down, Jada turned her attention to Zarya. It was like, why? Just why? Did you see this match or no?
Did not.
Okay, moving on to the next one then. In a weaponized steel cage, Jordan Grace defeating Blake Monroe. I do think we get a third match at Halloween Havoc. Blake cutting the locks, the hair of Jordan different. This could be a whole lot better match. Yeah, did you see this one?
Nope.
And also what took it out for me, took me out of the matches was commercial. And again, I know the WWE have got to get paid, but way too many commercials, and they were showing classic No Mercy matches, NXT No Mercy matches, which was cool, but we were just time filling. Just Ethan Page still your North American champion. Tavion Heights gave it his all. Would have loved to have had Tavion win, but I'm not shocked that he didn't. Did you see this one?
Nope.
Okay, moving along to JC Jane Lawler vibes to the NXT Women's Championship. I think for me, match of the night. Again, Lola gave it her all, put it all out there, came up short. Like I said, a hooded figure, call them what you like, attacks Lola. So was that Jasmine? Was it someone from TNA? Someone else from NXT main roster? Because we'll find out in this week's NXT. Did you see this one?
I did not.
Okay, let's get into the main event then. And surprisingly, shockingly, new NXT champion, the Revolution, Ricky Saints, dethroning the 9-month-long champion, the ruler, Oba Femi. I would have kept the title on Oba personally, but I just don't know how he's going to get. If he's coming up to the main roster, I don't know how he gets used. But yeah, this was a shocker. And I personally don't like Ricky's new finisher. It's just a springboard DDT, tornado DDT, whatever it is. I presume he can't do the Rochambeau anymore. Maybe he's injured his back, maybe he's injured his shoulders. I don't know. But yeah, shocker. But it was an okay match. And my rating for the entire pay-per-view, I was saying opener. Did you see the main event?
I did see the main event. It was a good match. It was a really good match. If there's one thing you're going to get from an Oba Femi match is him showing off his power and his strength. I really enjoy whenever I watch Oba's matches and the power game that he displays. I'm not the biggest Ricky Saints fan. I haven't been a Ricky Saints fan back when he was Ricky Starks. Because I really didn't get it. I didn't get his character. I still don't get his character now. Even when people like yourself was really hype about him coming to NXT, I was just like, okay, so I don't get the hype. And even with him winning last night was shocking. But once again, I don't get the hype. If anything, he's kind of in JC James' place, which is the most beatable NXT champion that I've seen since I've been watching NXT. Which has only been about a year or two. So I truly look at Ricky Saints as like a transitional guy, or maybe he'll defend it one time and beat somebody, but then he'll lose the next time.
Yeah, I won't be shocked at that if NXT have a pay-per-view in November or after Halloween Havoc. So yeah, I think they might do the rematch at Halloween Havoc. He beats over again. And then, yeah, I agree with you. I won't be shocked if he then loses it. Just, yeah, shocking ending, but Yeah, there was no mercy. I'm going to play one more ad. Then I'm going to get into what shows I've been to, and then we are done here for this week. But let me play this ad first. So yes, go ahead, like and subscribe. Not just here, but to Marcus's channel. Link in the description. There it is once again, somewhere on your screens. So head over in a couple of seconds from now, a moment or 2 minutes from now. Head over to his channel and subscribe. But what shows have I been to? Well, let's quickly get to that with this. So yes, wrestling roundup, another packed wrestling weekend for myself, and I went to somewhere here. So that was Friday night show. Not been back to this company not been to see this company for 8 months. The last show we went to for this company was January, but yeah, glad I made the return. Yeah, good show. And last night's show was this, another great show. And I have got more coming up, but you guys have to tune in next week to find out what those shows are. And we are done here for tonight. Like and subscribe. And as always, it is over to you, Marcus.
I haven't been here in a while. Sorry I can't contribute more than I could because haven't been into wanting to watch the product. Don't really care, especially with everything going to Netflix or ESPN Premium and all that. But don't let that deter you from, one, getting your news and everything from here. 2, get a VPN. Stephanie McMahon said that. And 3, just stay tuned. I'm sure, Ricky will keep you guys clued in because he's watching it regardless. He is watching this stuff no matter how much he complains and how much he don't like TKO and he thinks the writing's boring. You can't get it from me, but you'll get it from him. That's for sure. All right, remember to like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you.
Correct. Even no matter how bad Raw gets, but it's mainly habit now. Is Raw good? Hell no. But yes, I'll watch regardless. Anyway, yes, like and subscribe. See you guys next week. Hopefully with Sean. Hopefully with Marcus as well. Who knows? Who knows who'll be on? But like, subscribe, and as always, remember it's Ricky J. We're going to do British Bite to the fight.